Now to the tragedy in Uvalde. It's been a heartbreaking 3 days, and this story is still unfolding.
Yeah, we want to walk you through the latest news and talk about what's next. We've learned President Biden and the First Lady will be in Uvalde to meet with and console the community on Sunday. Meanwhile, Governor Abbott will provide another update from Uvalde. He'd been scheduled to speak here at the NRA's convention, but he changed those plans last night. And there are major protests scheduled for today during the convention. We're going to talk about that coming up. But first, this morning, we're learning more about one of the victims who survived their encounter with the shooter.
We're talking about the gunman's own grandmother who was shot in the head right before the massacre. Prior to the shooting, the suspect sent a text to a girl overseas that he was going to kill his grandmother over an argument they've been having. And moments later, he posted that he had shot her. She was taken to a hospital in San Antonio where she is now recovering.
This morning, we're also getting a new timeline from authorities as questions remain about the contradictions in the details of how Tuesday's shooting unfolded. We want to walk you through this latest explanation of events. The new timeline starts at 11:28 a.m. That's when Texas DPS says the shooter, Salvador Ramos, crashed his truck near Robb Elementary after shooting his grandmother. DPS says he shot at two people, then fired shots at the school itself before approaching the building. At 11:40, the shooter entered the school, but he went unchallenged, apparently through an unlocked door. Now, that's a big change in the story from authorities. Initially, they said he was, quote, engaged by a school resource officer before he got into the school. And now they say the first officers didn't arrive to the scene until 11:44, 4 minutes after Ramos went inside the school. Those officers reportedly came under fire and took cover. DPS says at least 7 officers entered the school. They began evacuations and tried negotiations with the suspect. This is when DPS says the shooter was, quote, contained in the classroom. But it wasn't until 12:40, nearly an hour later, when we're told a Border Patrol tactical team shot and killed Ramos. And by then, he'd already killed 19 students and 2 teachers in that classroom.
This morning, our team continues to cover this story. Stephanie Whitfield is here in Houston for the protest plan today, and Janelle Bluda is live in Uvalde this morning. Janelle, we will start with you.
Good morning, guys. Well, this growing memorial here behind me has become a place where family, friends, even complete strangers can come to grieve together. As you can see, 21 white crosses surround this fountain in the middle of town. They're covered in flowers, candles, toys, and stuffed animals. Each has a name on it, and you can see people have written messages on the crosses to those who died. And as if this shooting couldn't get any worse, yesterday we learned that the husband of Irma Garcia, one of the teachers killed in the school shooting, has died. This is video of her husband, 48-year-old Joe Garcia. He was out at the elementary school just yesterday morning, dropping off flowers for his wife's cross at the memorial there. Only hours later, his family tells us he died of a heart attack. Relatives called Irma a kind soul and say Joe worked at the supermarket, saying he always had a smile for you. They believe his death is due to grief.
Kind of in shock at the whole thing. It's too much to take for anybody. This is just adding insult to injury, if you can word it like that.
Well, Talavera says he knows Irma Garcia was doing everything she could to protect the babies. He says she died trying to save them. Now the couple leaves behind 4 kids who in just 3 days lost their mother and now their father. Guys.
Such a heartbreaking story. Janelle Bluda live for us in Uvalde. Thank you.
Our live team coverage continues now with Stephanie Whitfield here in Houston. Stephanie, a lot happening here today in response to the shooting and to the annual NRA convention that'll begin this morning.
That's right. It's set to be a very busy morning here at City Hall, where there's a big event scheduled later today. And of course, there's so much happening at the George R. Brown Convention Center. We have a live picture up right now. We know at least 3 groups are going to be gathering there today. Now, there are events and protests happening throughout the day. They include protests, a gathering of faith leaders, and a rally at noon at Discovery Green. Democratic gubernatorial candidate Beto O'Rourke plans to be at that rally to, quote, hold the NRA and the politicians they purchase accountable. Last night, Mayor Sylvester Turner responded to calls to cancel the convention, saying this is a contracted event that's been in place for 2 years.
where plans and have already been made. You just can't cancel that convention.
Despite public pressure to cancel, it's not entirely surprising the NRA is proceeding with plans. 23 years ago, nearly the exact same thing happened in Colorado. 1 month after the mass shooting at Columbine High School shocked America, the NRA held its convention in Denver despite calls to cancel that event. Now back out here live, City Hall was lit up last night to honor those killed in Uvalde. There will no doubt be a lot of tension in downtown Houston today after an emotional week for the whole state and country. Back to you.
Stephanie Whitfield live for us this morning. Thank you. And while the convention only lasts one weekend, the NRA also has its eyes set on the Lone Star State permanently. Brandy Smith explains why.
Why is the NRA trying to move to Texas? The NRA has been around for a while. It was founded in 1871 by two Civil War veterans with the original purpose of promoting marksmanship. It's so old, it was formed at a time when state legislatures passed special acts to create corporations. And that's what New York State did, granting the charter the NRA still operates under to this day. Why is all this history important? Well, because it means the NRA is subject to New York's laws despite the fact that the organization's headquarters are in Virginia. And in 2020, New York's Attorney General filed a lawsuit that would basically dissolve the NRA. She accused the organization's leadership, mainly CEO Wayne LaPierre, of misusing large amounts of money for personal expenses. In the wake of that lawsuit, the NRA filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, asking to reincorporate in Texas. A Dallas area judge rejected that bankruptcy, saying the move appeared to be more about avoiding the New York lawsuit than an actual bankruptcy. But now parts of that New York lawsuit have been dismissed by a court. The judge did say the AG could still go after NRA leadership, though, and that leaves a move to Texas in limbo. With the Why, I'm Brandy Smith.
We are making it easy to help the Uvalde community. All you have to do is text the word Uvalde to 713-526-1111. We will text you back with links to the latest on the investigation, on the victims, and ways that you can help out.